rotary tool available. You can also use an X-Acto knife or a hobby knife to make straight cuts in the Designer Tack board. So you see here I have the letter L. It goes straight down and straight across. So this would be the perfect application to use a hobby knife with. Now I'm going to trim out the excess template and tape it down so that I have a nice, clean, flat surface to work with. Just going to cut out and leave myself about a 2-inch border around the actual line I'm going to cut, like this. And then I'm going to use my painter's tape to tape it down. Remember, it's important to use painter's tape because painter's tape won't stick to the paper surface on the Designer Tack. And when you're ready to take the template away, it won't rip. Now that I'm all taped down, I'm going to make sure that I have a good straight edge, because that's going to be important in helping me keep my line straight. And the most important thing is to make sure I have a really sharp X-Acto knife blade. Usually a project will take more than one blade, so you want to have a couple extras on hand to make sure your blade is nice and sharp every time you cut. The trick with straight edge cuts and Designer Tack board is that you don't want to cut through in one swipe or 2 swipes. You want to make a series of shallow swipes. So with the first cut, my only goal is to cut through the top paper layer. Then with the second cut, I'll go a little bit deeper. Third cut, I'll go a little bit deeper. So each line is going to take multiple cuts. So I've got my template here. I'm going to line my straight edge up exactly with the line that I want to cut. And remember, the first cut, the only goal is just to pierce the paper on the front of the Designer Tack board. So I've got my brand new sharp blade. I'm going to hold down my straight edge very firmly and just pierce the paper, dragging it straight down. Okay, now with the second cut, I'm going to go just a little bit deeper. Okay, third cut, I'm going to go just a little bit deeper. Okay, now that I've got my first line cut all the way through, I'm going to start on the second one. So I'm going to scoot my straight edge over. And again, we're going very slowly here. We're going to cut once, and then a little bit deeper, a little bit deeper. Just keep going until you've cut all the way through. You'll know you've made it all the way through. So you can feel it start to kind of curl up on the bottom. Let me make sure I've gotten all the way through. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to keep doing this on all the sides of the template until it's cut all the way through. Okay, I've cut all the way through my template, and I know that because on the reverse side I can see the outline of the template. So I'm going to apply gentle pressure. If for some reason it doesn't come out on the first swipe, which mine is not, you can turn it over on the back side and just score through the paper. Make sure you got all the way through all the layers, following the outline of the shape that's already cut back here. Okay? That should do it. Yep, there we go. And out comes my shape. Now it looks pretty good. There's just a few areas that I want to clean up. So I'll show you how to do that. You take your hobby knife, and if there's an area with a rough edge, like this little piece right here, I'm going to take my knife and hold it at an angle and just very carefully slice off the excess board. So that took care of that. And then here, see, I accidentally overcut my line a little bit, and there's some paper that's pulled up. You can just take some white glue on your finger and stick it on the paper, and then push it back down and hold it there, and that'll repair any curled edges. Here we have a custom shaped letter L made using straight edges and a hobby knife.